How to win friends and influence people. Everybody wants this thing. Everybody wants to have friends, and everybody wants to influence people in some way or another. And this is the book about that topic. That's why it has overwhelming number of sales, right? Now we are going to go through a very important point of this book first, and the point is this. Do you know someone you would like to change and regulate and improve? Who came to your mind? Good, that is fine. I'm all in favor of it. But why not begin on yourself? From a purely selfish standpoint, that is a lot more profitable than trying to improve others. Yes, and a lot less dangerous. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbor's roof when your doorstep is unclean. This book, you would assume that this book teaches you mostly about other people, but no, this book, just like all sorts of knowledge is self-knowledge. This book tells you things about yourself. These things that you are taught in this book, we're taught in this book, appreciating person, saying all the nice things you know about them, avoid confrontation, don't help them save their face, don't jump in their faces, just like, for example, when Arthur was on the table and the certain man said that this quote is from Bible, but in fact, Carnegie knew that this quote was not from Bible, and he jumped in, even though nobody asked his opinion. He jumped in. I was like, no, you're wrong. But and again, the professor, professional guy, that's the man that studied the Shakespeare, so kicked him in a leg and said, "You're certainly from Bible." And later he talked to this man, and it's like, I know. And Carnegie told him, "I know for sure that you knew that was from Shakespeare, and that quote was from Shakespeare, not from Bible." And the man exactly told him from where it was. But he also explained to him that, hey, why do you bother? Why do you bother to go through this person's, to go against this person? Like, nobody asked you anything. You just jump in there. And bother. You just bother people there. Who cares? Nobody asked you anything. Okay, let's leave this the way it is. Nobody asked you anything. But you just jump in front of this person and you're like, oh my God, I am smarter than you are. You are stupid. Not only you are doing literally huge disfavor to yourself. Basically, you become your own enemy by doing that thing. Because you crush other men's pride. And Absalom mentions that man took his hand toward the gun. Like, you crush other men's pride, and what you gain by that? You gain an enemy. And I think he mentioned that man took his hand toward his gun. What do you there? Like, it's foolish. Nobody asked you anything. And what I want to say is that this book, these things are a lot. If you were to say something stupid, and somebody smartass jumped in front of you, and not only that made you stupid, made you look stupid in front of so many people, you wouldn't pick down and you wouldn't be like, oh, no, I think no, you would not do that. So these things are not about other people; they're about us. And this suggestion here, what I read, hey, why don't you improve yourself? Like, not other people. And another thing is that, and wow, like most powerful, I have only 3 quotes mentioned. I want to read. Basically I've written down many things, but these 3 is exceptional. And here's it. If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle, as well as from your own. And this is compassion, basically, to me. Like if you look at it, like to be able to put yourself in other person's shoes, what can be there more valuable and important? To be able to, you know what, not only you are no longer a selfish person that just stands and judges. Hey, put yourself on other person's shoes. This book is all about that. Like, put yourself on other person's shoes. How would you be? And this brings understanding. And to know all is to forgive all. To understand. And by the way, these things I'm not telling you, or neither it's suggested. Or after you listen to this, for example, like the world becomes fairy tale, or reading this book, like the world becomes this fairy tale and like it's not magic, beautiful. No. But to know all is to understand. Basically, to know all is to forgive all. You will gain understanding. What if you burn there's that person's position? Put yourself on that person's shoes, and it brings forgiveness. And this thing is, by the way, very selfish to the core. Like, it will help you, by the way. You should not forgive, for example, because you actually forgive. No, you should forgive. First, it's a selfish. You should forgive to free yourself from chains that pull you down. But never forget. I'm telling you to forget. Forget about forgetting and just leave or get the fuck out of town. Just, these things are so powerful. Let's talk about that to gun, like to Crowley, I believe this was that criminal's name, that viciously killed this policeman, like a savage, killed this human being first of all, and then policeman, like for stopping him. And this person wrote, "Oh my God, I'm such a kind person," blah blah blah. And this person doesn't judge himself. And this brings us to timeless lesson. 99% of the time, people don't criticize themselves. Neither they point finger on themselves. They point finger on anything and everything else, but not toward themselves. This is how it is. This is like timeless art. Like when we deal with people, we don't deal with some intelligent people and basically people that intelligently make decisions. Like our decisions are impulsive. Our decisions are based on our emotions mostly. And this isn't just other. These things are true for us as well. We're not very rational, mostly. Very rational most of the time. And compassion, for example, Crowley, and the policeman, after arresting the Crowley or whatever, said that this person will kill without blinking. And at the same time, this same person talks about himself like, oh, this person has this kind heart, and blah. I'm like, oh, dude, you are feeling of importance. Why, for example, criminals are like, oh my God, show me. I think the pay newspapers how I'm shown there as a hero. Everybody wants them to be known or to be appreciated or to be well known, basically. Feeling of importance, and that picture and the newspaper and the public, attention is that it provides this feeling of importance. Why is that people care or love, admire themselves more than anything and everything else? Like there's like selfishness, right? And we can say that an altruistic behavior, which happens rarely, happens because of selfish reasons. Now, like to look at from other person's perspective, it's an amazing thing. And the third thing I want to quote, mention the book. Okay. Those people who think only of themselves are hopelessly uneducated. They are not educated, no matter how instructed they may be. Now, these words may seem harsh, and true words true words are not beautiful, by the way. If you look at this, true words are not beautiful. True words are restless, pretty restless. Like and let me reread this quote. Those people who think only of themselves are hopelessly uneducated. They are not educated no matter how instructed they may be. Look, you are not the only one in this planet. Neither you are more important than any other person on this planet. The world don't circle around you. It does not. You are what you are. And if you, just like most people spend their lifetime thinking about themselves and understanding about themselves and caring about, no, like, you should be concerned and you should be aware of your situation, your environment. If you're just a person that, hope, like, oh my God, let myself, blah, blah. No, that's not like that. There's much more than you. And that's it. And now things that came in my mind is that, one of the mentions of the book is that you should love your audience, and you should also love your readers. If you are an author, you cannot like hate your own book readers. Like, and when I read this thing in the book, I'm reading this book here. It's like Nietzsche's book basically, and I was reading Nietzsche at the same time, and I was thinking in my head, Nietzsche loves his readers. People that read his books, like, you can feel that Nietzsche loves his readers. Nietzsche is not indifferent toward readers of his book. He genuinely is concerned. And I started thinking every great book there is, and like, there's authors who are always concerned, or always care about their readers. They love their audience. They love their readers. Just like that, you cannot possibly hate people you want to work with. You cannot possibly, let's say you want to be a leader, or you cannot possibly hate and at the same time lead. You cannot do that. And here's the thing, right? Maybe you can, but the name you will leave behind will be equal to Satan, or even worse. And history has examples of exceptional people that were like that, and they built that empire, but that empire usually would collapse the moment they died. And I want to say is like, you have to, and this made me think, by the way, what I think about you essentially, people that watch this type of videos, what I think about you, and I was like, honestly, I never thought about this way, but I love my audience. Like, I love my people that like to have this type of conversation. I really love, and that made me remind me that this is one of the reasons I started this challenge channel, because of love, because of I want to do it. I love my audience, and it's struck in my head. And also, the other thing I want to mention is that look at the things, for example. Things are there, they are. Humans are selfish creatures. But if you learn this skill of dealing with people in the right way, like, for example, like a simple example, don't argue. Arguments bring nothing. there is this thing, like while you argue, the people that winners keep winning, while losers argue. And arguments, what only arguments bring is that other resentment, etc. And this feeling stuck in my head. This book is not about other people, or this book doesn't teach me about those. This book teaches me about myself. This book tells me about myself. And I want to make this clear point. Be diplomatic. Be diplomatic. Be calm and be diplomatic. Don't let temporary situations, temporary occurrences decide your entire life. And this book makes you think about so many things. Especially it's been long since I last read this book. And especially it's my first time reading this book in English. And funny note, I just after reading this book, I realized that they're basically the translation I used to read and I read in my own so-called language before was very low quality translation, and a lot of things actually were translated in the wrong way. But again, to criticize that translator that translated that book brings nothing. Probably that person tried his best or her best and did his job. Let's assume that. And there's no point in criticizing. And be diplomatic. And don't let these temporary situations, temporary occurrences decide your entire future life. And what I mean by that is that sometimes, and here's the thing, in human behavior, don't let petty things make you get in your way to make communication with people. And don't be some cheap person. There's so many cheap people out there that like to say these cheap words, right? Oh, I appreciate you, and I do blah, blah, blah. But you can even tell in the way they speak that they are not genuinely saying what are they saying. They are just robots that have remembered certain line and they're just repeating it. And you can tell that they don't mean what they're saying. That's what sucks. Don't be a cheap person. Cheap things won't work. This is also core message of the book. And lastly, let's read this. Everything you and I do springs from two motives: the sex urge and the desire to be great. And the desire to be great is far more powerful desire than the urge of sex, if you think about it. Because the desire to be great is much more higher importance. And especially these days, you can satisfy your sexual urges very easily. But the desire to be great is different desire. Okay. This is our ending. Thank you for watching this. Don't forget to hit the like button if you have not. And probably you should be a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Thank you for watching again, and see you.